Money Ki Baat. Money Ki Baat on February 6, 2017. Today's focus would be on Government, Money and Taxes, GMT. I'm G. Ramachandran, Ramach to my associates and to my friends, and my email is indiagrow@gmail.com. I dedicate this presentation to my alma mater and to all its distinguished alumni. The College of Engineering, Guindy, since 1794, probably the oldest engineering college or school in India. I have two principal objectives: to deepen our collective efforts aimed at transforming India into a digital money economy, to ensure that the efforts pertinent to this transformation gather pace and succeed coherently. The Committee of Chief Ministers on Digital Payments, the committee hereon, submitted an interim report to the Honorable Prime Minister on January 24, 2017. In this report, the committee had identified 7 constraints. The most important constraint pertains to the cost of running digital transactions. The committee thought that digital transactions are costlier than cash. I repeat, the committee thought that digital transactions are costlier than cash. The committee's report and this view together reflect the cash is queen and king assumption. But the truth is, money has no physicality and no tangibility at origin. Money can be digitized at origin. Money should be digitized at origin. And I have a more important objective. Digital transactions are not costlier than cash. I repeat, digital transactions are not costlier than cash. So here's the homework, the schoolwork, and the classwork so that we can do all our total work totally better. Digital money system, DMS, is cheaper than cash money system, CMS. CMS is costlier than DMS. And towards this, we need an attitudinal change and widespread training. DMS is cheaper than CMS. Digital money system is cheaper than cash money system. We need to evaluate the total system cost. The components of total system cost of money are 5: value creation, value preservation, value protection, value transmission, value attribution. Digital money system is a winner in each of the 5 components. Paper money system or cash money system is a loser in each of the 5 components. And I once again invoke the spirit of Guindy, because together we will engineer a revolution. The motto of my alma mater, Labor Omnia Vincit, work conquers all. And here's the first proof. India beat the West Indies on June 25, 1983 in the Cricket World Cup. Krishnamachari Srikanth, an electrical engineer from the College of Engineering, Guindy, was in Kapil Dev's playing 11. He top scored in this great match. He got 38 runs with 7 fours and 1 6, 28 plus 6 in boundaries. That's 34. He lit up the great Lord's because he was an electrical engineer, and then went up the Lord's balcony to light up one more. Victory can make you sparkle. Srikanth did better than Vivian Richards. Kapil Dev did better than Clive Lloyd. Collectively, Sunil Gavaskar, Krish Srikanth, Mohinder Amarnath, Yashpal Sharma, Sandeep Patil, Kapil Dev Kirti Azad, Roger Binney, Madan Lal, Syed Kirmani, and Balwinder Sandhu did better than Clive Lloyd's 11. And if you don't mind looking at Balwinder Sandhu as ballwinder, who got Greenwich's wicket, and that's the way cricket is played. Balwinder Sandhu opened the gates and then the West Indies collapsed. The opposition did not matter. The great reputation of the West Indies batsmen did not matter. What India did was they hit the ball well, they bowled the ball well. The team's competence alone mattered. खुद से स्पर्धा करके देखिए अनुस्पर्धा आपको निश्चित ही संतोष मिलेगा आनंद मिलेगा और आप जीत भी सकते हैं और आप भी जीत सकते हैं. So Kapil Dev's team went on to win because it got or made more runs than Clive Lloyd's 140. 183 by India, but Clive Lloyd's team made 140. Did the 183 runs exist somewhere? Did the 140 runs exist somewhere? No. Runs lack physicality. Runs do not pre-exist. Runs are not like the fruits that we can order online for delivery to our dear mothers. Runs are not like the stocks of gold, crude oil, wheat, orange juice concentrate, and coffee on which we could buy or sell a warehouse receipt. Runs are wholly similar to money. We get them by working. Money is wholly similar to runs. We get money by working. Money lacks physicality. Money does not pre-exist. Money is not like those fruits. Money is not like the stocks of gold, crude oil, wheat, orange juice concentrate, and coffee. Runs are a construct, runs are intangible, and money too is a construct, money is intangible. Runs are not a zero-sum game. Everyone can score big runs. Sonny, Chika, and Jimmy, all of them made centuries against Australia in January 1986 in the Sydney Test. 1, 2, 3. Incidentally, Chika's highest score in Test cricket and in ODIs is 123. One player's good times do not deprive other players of their good times. That's what we learn from cricket. Money too is not a zero-sum game. One person's good earnings do not deprive others of their good earnings. What this means is we can all be prosperous together. We should all be prosperous together. If we understand cricket, we will understand money. But I had promised to discuss GMT, government, money and taxes. When I started, I will, after invoking some of the other great alumni of my college. The spirit of Gindi, because together we will engineer a revolution. Srikanth was an electrical engineer who went on to become a great opening batsman. Rajagopala Raj Reddy was a civil engineer from the College of Engineering, Gindi, who went on to become a pioneer in robotics and artificial intelligence. He got the Turing Award too. You got to specialize to show your talent. And I now turn my attention to Verghese Kurian, a mechanical engineer, the immortal Verghese Kurian, a social entrepreneur who spawned the White Revolution and Operation Flood. He made India the world's largest milk producer. Milk has to be produced. And India was a milk deficient country, but Verghese Kurian made India milk surplus. Along the way, he produced employment, great incomes, health, nutrition, education, empowerment, and above all, gender parity. Specialization makes us very different. But once upon a time, we were all hunter-gatherers. We all lived in caves. We didn't produce anything. We didn't own anything. We were all more or less similar to one another. But soon our ancestors depleted whatever was there in the cave's neighborhood. So they wandered away from the cave to greener pastures. Our ancestors migrated to the greener pastures, but there too they didn't produce anything, they didn't own anything, they continued to be hunter gatherers, all of them. Soon they depleted whatever was there in the greener pastures. The greener pastures became brown nothings, the greener pastures became barren nothings, so they had to migrate again. Soon they had inhabited the whole world, except perhaps the poles. Now there was no more new place to go to that could feed them. So they stayed on in that one last place, tribe by tribe, to grow their own food. Obviously, our ancestors were intelligent. They began to grow food and began to produce food. But growing and producing did not yield food immediately. As a hunter-gatherer, you got your mango the moment you wanted it. But if you had to grow mango, you had to wait. The mango tree had to mature, and then it had to flower and then bear a fruit. Our ancestors now had to reckon with gestation and the time to harvest. They had to invest their effort in growing, cultivating, and producing. They had to wait for the harvest for long, without the certainty that the harvest would be theirs, because they lived among thieves and free riders. So our ancestors needed property rights and security. This is my mango tree, this mango will therefore belong to me. Our ancestors were very intelligent. They, therefore, invented government. They needed government to tell others that it is that person's mango tree, the mango therefore will belong to him or her. They needed government because they needed property rights and security. But government needed people to enforce the property rights and to provide security. Unfortunately, government didn't grow anything. Who would then work for government without a reward and without getting paid? Government didn't grow anything. They could only enforce the property rights and provide security. Therefore, the citizens, the intelligent citizens, invented taxes. They invented taxes in kind. Government got some part of the produce grown by its citizens. That's quid pro quo. In return, government enforced property rights and provided security to its citizens. Therefore, we now have government, taxes, citizens, and citizenship in place. We now need to think in terms of money. In the beginning, everyone did almost the same set of things. We all grew wheat, we all cooked food, we all made implements, we taught our children, we clothed our children, and we fed the domesticated animals. All of us did that. But we had different sizes of holdings. The size of the homesteads and the size of the farmsteads were different. Therefore, there were rich families, there were poor families. Though we all grew wheat, cooked food, made implements, taught our children, clothed our children, and fed the domesticated animals, some of the families among us were very good at growing wheat. Some were very good at making implements. Some were very good at teaching our children. Everyone had a specialty, a core competence, a passion. Our ancestors were very intelligent. They hated the idea that the size of their homesteads and the size of their farmsteads would determine their affluence or poverty. So, they began to specialize in growing wheat and nothing else. Some families began to make implements and did nothing else. Some began to teach children and did nothing else. Everyone put her and his specialty to work. Everyone put her and his specialty to work. As in cricket, some became batters, such as Krishnamachari Shrikant and Sandeep Patil. Some became bowlers, such as Roger Binney and Madan Lal. Some became wicket keepers, such as Syed Kirmani. and some became all-rounders like Jimmy, Mohinder Ramarnath, and Kapil Dev. Specialization enables you to become more effective and more efficient. The community wants you there because the others don't have your skills. Our ancestors were very intelligent. Soon they began to barter their goods and services. The implement maker didn't grow any wheat. The teacher didn't grow any wheat. The farmer grew wheat. The farmer didn't make implements. The teacher didn't make any implements. And the implement maker didn't bother about growing any wheat or teaching children. The implement maker didn't grow any wheat. So the teacher, in return for food somewhere else, had to accept farm implements so that the implement maker's children could be educated. But the teacher didn't need the farm equipments. So the teacher had to take the implements to the wheat grower. But the wheat grower, the farmer, grew so much wheat that in return for the wheat, they had a great overstocking of many, many implements. Therefore, there was a problem that the teacher had to face. Moreover, the farmer did not have too many children, so the demand for education from the teacher was inadequate. The demand for education was not sufficient to feed the teacher. The teacher began to starve even though there was enough wheat in that village. Our ancestors were very intelligent. They realized that barter in goods and services did not serve people adequately. In a similar vein, food for work too doesn't serve people adequately. Our ancestors were very intelligent, so they invented money. Our ancestors invented money because barter wasn't good enough. Money is an invention. It's a construct. It's a promise to exchange value. Effort is the root of all money, and money is the root of all effort. The teacher does well so that the teacher can get paid more and subsequently buy a car, buy more food, buy better clothing, and buy a better computer. The implement maker does well, specializes so that with more efficient implements sold, the implement maker could buy better food and better education. The farmer specialized in growing food in a very effective way, green way if you like, so that the farmer could accomplish prosperity and buy the material goods and education. Effort is the root of all money. Money is the root of all effort. The implement maker, the teacher, and the farmer all had to individually and collectively take advantage of money, but they had to trust money. They had to trust some pieces of metal, paper, and whatever, say wood. Since they had invented government in order to provide them the property rights and the security, they made government, or an arm of government, sign those pieces of metal, paper, and whatever. Certification for money became necessary. Moreover, the farmer, the teacher, and the implement maker were all paying taxes, and these taxes were high enough to cover this cost of creating and validating money or certifying money. We are now as intelligent as our ancestors. We are probably more intelligent than our ancestors. We should move to digital money. We do not have to digitize money because money is a construct. Money is merely a construct. Money has no absoluteness to it. It doesn't start as wood. It doesn't start as metal. It doesn't start as paper. Money starts as a promise. It's a reward for effort. Money is an awesome magic. It's built on a chain of trust and confidence. It doesn't start in a material way. It starts with intangible trust and intangible confidence. This awesome magic should continue when money turns digital. Money can be digital in a hurry because it doesn't have to start with paper, wood, or metal. It should be government and the Reserve Bank of India that should therefore be at the absolute center of creation, validation, certification, propagation, and acceptance of digital money in that magical and endless circle. This is what government and the Reserve Bank of India do when money has a material nature to it. So when money has a digital nature to it, the government and the Reserve Bank of India should be at the absolute center of creating, validating, certifying, propagating, and accepting digital money. Money should turn digital because it never was born material. We should not be looking at digitizing payments and digitizing transactions. When money becomes digital, payments and transactions will automatically be digital. So we need to move towards making money digital. Therefore, government should work towards digitizing money. Government should not get caught up with digitizing payments and transactions. There's a big difference between digitizing money and digitizing payments. There's a big difference between digitizing money and digitizing transactions. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I'm Ramach, and my email is indiagrow@gmail.com.